Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to rank in the search engines and the basics of SEO and keyword research. So I'm going to be talking about all about how you can get at the top of the search engine results pages and different ways you can do that, and talking about SEO, what that is, and how to use it, and how to perform keyword research. So let's get started. As a brief introduction, I am Lisa Lee. I'm a web developer. I've been designing graphics and building websites for over 20 years. For the past 6 years, I've mostly worked with WordPress websites. I help a lot of small businesses. I do marketing and SEO and different advertisements and stuff. I'm no marketing expert, but I've learned things from the experts that I can share with you, and I'm hoping that the things that I teach you in this online class will help you save time and money and avoid common pitfalls. Okay, so what I'll be covering is the SEO terms, an introduction to keyword research, and then optimizing your website for SEO. So we'll be talking about tools that you can use, ways to measure success, and avoid SEO penalties, and please ignore the silly typo that I have in lecture 2's description, so just ignore that. Alright, so let's dive in. What is SEO? Well, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's where you are taking keywords and you're putting them into the website so that the search engines will find it and see that it's relevant to whatever people are searching for. So that's generally what it's talking about when it's talking about visibility. So when someone performs a search on a like on Google or Bing or Yahoo or whatever, they enter in search terms and search engine result pages are what come up, and you are trying to get on those pages so you can get free traffic. So free organic traffic, that's where people find your website naturally just by doing a search. So it's not being not a paid advertisement necessarily, although you can pay to get ranked higher in the search engine results. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that. You can use organic methods to do that, and that's what we'll be talking about today. So some of the major search engines are Google, Bing, Yahoo. There are others. I have more information on the website in the blog if you want to learn more about that. What this does is it helps to just increase your exposure and, create more awareness of your brand and your website in general, which can then in turn lead to potential conversions, so sales or whatever, your goal is for your website. Okay, so some key things to know about SEO is that it generally is a blend of some technical setup, because it involves back-end aspects of the website, not necessarily the things that you see on the page itself, though it does include that, because the things on the page itself are the content, and so you do have to use SEO in the content that you create, but also do things on the back end to improve the visibility. And then you also need to do some marketing as well, and that will help to increase your ranking. Now, the important thing to know about SEO is that you're not going to get immediate results, typically speaking. It's going to be something that you see over time. So you can expect like months before you really start to see any results from SEO. Alright, so some key terms that you need to know. The keywords that I talk about, these are the search terms and phrases that people are actually typing into the search engines. So if you go to Google or you go to Bing and you start typing in some search terms, you can sometimes see suggested keywords. You can see, the results from, whatever you enter in or select, and it will display, the results for those key terms. You're putting in keywords, and it could be one term, it could be multiple terms, it could be a whole phrase, it could be a question. And that's what a keyword is generally referring to. SERP is referring to search engine results pages, and that's where your website appears in the search results for a keyword research, keyword search. So when people are looking at, the key terms in the search engine, that's what's going to come up. Backlinks, that's the links from other websites that point to your website. So for example, if you have a Facebook page and you add a link to your website, that is a backlink. If you have a YouTube video and you add the link to your website, that's a backlink. If you have an article or a press release or something somewhere or a directory entry, and you have a link to your website, that is a backlink. So anything from other websites pointing to yours, that is considered a backlink. On-page SEO is referring to elements on the page itself. These can include like content, titles, the URL that's actually in the URL bar for the page or the website, and other things like that, images and things. Off-page is talking about your authority and credibility outside of your website. So these are your backlinks and things like that. Crawling and indexing, this is the method that search engines use to discover new websites and figure out what's on your website's pages. And then you have meta tags. These are tags that provide information about a web page. They're on the back end, so you can kind of think of it on a stage where you have people acting or performing and stuff. That's like the content on your website, and then you have people that help behind the scenes that run the special effects and stuff like that. Well, you can think of meta tags as working behind the scenes. Okay, keyword research. This is where you identify the phrases that your target audience is looking for. So it could be on particular topics, it could be on your services, it could be on products, whatever is relevant to your business and industry. And the importance of it is that it helps you know what people are looking for. So that way you know what to put on your website. So it guides the content that you create, the headlines that you use, the types of information that you decide to include. So the thing about keywords, though, is that you have different kinds of keywords. You have short tail keywords and you have long tail keywords. The short tail ones are more broad, like shoes, iPhone, laptop. It could be a short, phrase, but generally very broad. Long tail keywords are more specific. So it could be best running shoes or best laptops or something specific to an area or a type of business or some sort of, more specific terms. And then you have keyword phrases with different purposes. So this is where you have informational keywords where people are just looking for information. So for example, pyramids in Egypt, or navigational keywords. That's where a specific site is, like a Facebook login or Google login or Gmail login or something like that. Something where someone's looking for a part of a website that's, that they don't want to type in the URL to. Transactional. This is where people are wanting to buy something. So they may be ready to buy shoes. They may be looking to sign up for something or create an account or whatever. Those are transactional. Then you have also local SEO keywords. This is where these are specific to a local business. So for example, bike shops in, city and state, or it could be dog groomer, or a dog kennel or whatever. It could be relevant to a local area, generally speaking, with those types of businesses. And it could just be regional as well. So that's where you have your local, keywords where people say, restaurants near me. That's referring to their local area at the time that they're doing the search. So putting near me is not the keyword that you want to have, but you need to have the key, words like restaurant or whatever it is that, your business is. And then, the search engines are smart enough to be able to go, oh, okay, this place is located here. This is relevant to the search. And then you have industry-specific keywords, though I don't really have any examples to give you at the moment. Okay, so a bit more about the short tail and long tail keywords. I've got some examples here to show you. So some short tail examples are shoes, digital marketing, web hosting, SEO services, coffee shop, Toyota trucks, Windows laptop, iPhone case. Okay, these are very broad terms. You're gonna, put this in and you can get a lot of results, of course, but they're very broad. Whereas compared to the long tail keywords, these could ask a question, these could, be asking for the best of something, like a list of something, they could be looking for reviews, it could be all kinds of different things. So some examples of those would be like best running shoes for women. Very specific. It's looking for the best. It's looking for running shoes, not just any shoes, and it's looking for shoes that are meant for women. Then you have affordable digital marketing for small businesses. You have how to choose the best web hosting for a blog. So that's where it's a question. Then you have SEO services for e-commerce websites. You have different things like best coffee shop in downtown Dallas. So there you have more specific location involved in it. Then you have like best Toyota trucks in 2024, best Windows laptops for students, military grade water resistant iPhone case. So very specific compared to the broad ones. So in order to use keywords, you need to find the right ones to target. So you're going to start by trying to brainstorm some topics that are relevant to your business and your website and the content that you have or are going to have. And you want to try to figure out the things that your target audience is going to be looking for if they're looking for your content. And you can use tools like Google Keyword Planner or SEMrush or Key Search or other tools to find keywords that you can target. And then you can also use your competitors' websites. You can get keyword ideas for what they're ranking for and be able to take that information and be able to figure out, okay, I can use these keywords and I can do it better. And then you can potentially rank higher for those keywords than your competitors if you do it right. You can see what's working for them with those statistics, and so then you can target those. And then you can identify keywords that are low competition. So ones that are not as competitive. That means that people aren't, not bidding on trying to rank for those keywords. So maybe it's, some keywords that are less popular or just haven't been discovered that people are actively looking for, but you can rank more easily in the search engines. You want to make sure that you look for keywords that have good search volume, that's regular monthly search volume, that will make it worth it. So you don't want someone, some keywords that only have 10 people searching a month. That's not going to help. You're going to want to look for something that's got more like 1,000 a month at least or more. And then you want to target keywords that are going to have low costs. So if you do decide to pay, you can target keywords that just have a low bidding cost. Low and high range that is profitable and works within your budget. Alright, so you can use keyword research tools like the Google Keyword Planner. It's free and it's designed to use for ads, but it is great for finding some keywords and getting an idea of what the search volume is for the keywords and seeing some general trends. You can also use Ubersuggest. It does keyword suggestions, it has search volume, and it has competitive analysis as well. So that means you can compare your competitors and explore what they're doing. You can use a tool called Answer the Public. It has long tail keyword ideas that you can use, by showing like common questions that people are asking about the topic and stuff. You can use paid tools as well. There's Ahrefs, SEMrush, Moz Pro, a variety of other ones. And these can provide more in-depth keyword research tools and competitive analysis. And they can do site audits. They can, give you tracking for in-depth things. They can suggest more keywords and tell you about opportunities for where you can link to and stuff. These paid tools are often designed for agencies and those who are really good with keywords and frequently using them all the time to try to market businesses either for themselves or others. And so they're going to have more advanced tools and terms and things like that. So maybe less user-friendly for you to start with, but you can definitely take advantage of the free ones unless you want to dive into the, more advanced stuff to play with and use as part of your strategy. But the paid ones can be kind of pricey. So it's just something to explore and consider as you are putting together your strategy for keywords and, SEO. Okay, so I do have a pro tip to share with you. I always recommend to use videos for SEO. The reason is that Google and YouTube are some of the top search engines in the world. So Google is used for the majority of searches, and YouTube is used for searches as well, especially with like how-tos and all kinds of different topics. People are looking up search queries on it, not just on Google. And because Google and YouTube are owned by the same company, YouTube is going to tend to be indexed more quickly and easily than other platforms. And so if you do searches on Google, you may notice that at times you may do a search, there may be videos that show at the top of the results. This is something that Google does because people are looking for relevant content and they may be looking for videos and may be interested in those videos. And so if you post videos on YouTube and you target the keywords that you're looking for to target that are low competition and have good search volume, it can give you some rather quick results and exposure that you might not get otherwise if you try to target with just a regular website, because Google is going to index those videos much faster and display those much quicker than they will a full website. So a strategy that you can use is to use a video and display your website address in that video, perhaps throughout the whole thing, or perhaps just in the, description or somewhere in the video, and, whatever is part of your strategy. And that can help give you some traffic indirectly through the search engines by getting that exposure through YouTube. Okay, so that is just a pro tip I wanted to share with you. Now, on-page optimization. So when I'm talking about on-page optimization, I'm talking about different parts of the website. And these consist of things that are kind of on the back end. So these are like the workers working behind the stage. So you've got, of course, your title. And for the website and for whatever page, you have, and you have the different content and stuff. Well, behind that front end, you have stuff on the back end. The back end is what the search engines see, because they don't see all the pretty fancy effects in the way that we see it. They see code, and they see a bunch of text and information. So they see all these images and everything like that in the form of text and code. So there are title tags in that that are hidden in the page. So not just the text that you see, it's also in the code behind the scenes. And so the page title, which also often appears in like the web browser tab and stuff, that information is something that the search engines will look at. They'll also look at the meta descriptions, and they'll use that when they pull in that information in their search results. The headings tags. So the headings that you have on the front page, on your content and stuff like that, the way you organize it, you may have big headings, which will be like H1. You may have smaller headings, which will be H2, and even smaller and smaller and smaller. It goes from different levels in the code. And these things are typically not something you necessarily have to pay attention to. It is something to know, and some website builders and platforms that you use may show those, show H1, H2, H3, H4, all the way to H6. And they may give an option to select what you use for those titles. And otherwise, they may just allow you to change the size or something like that. It depends on the platform. But generally speaking, the tags and stuff that work behind the scenes for those titles and stuff are used by the search engine to understand what the web page is about. So it's going to be looking at those headings, not just at the content, but at the headings and what they're set to figure out, okay, this is the main heading of the website. It's H1. Okay, this is an H2. This is also important. And so it's going to look at those as it considers trying to figure out how relevant your website is and where to rank it in the search results. Excuse me. Okay. URLs. URLs are what are in the browser bar. So when you type in the domain name and you go to a website, that's the URL. Okay, so when you visit a particular page of a website, it will usually have something, they will have the domain name slash some, website address. And it will usually have some sort of page title, or it might be a weird number or gibberish. What you're going to want to use is words in those URLs. Depending on the website platform that you use, that may be, something you can change and control. If you're using, say, WordPress, and you set the URLs for your blog to use the post name, then it's going to use the title that you set when you created it. I'll try and show an example after I do all this, but for now I just want to kind of touch on it. So you can have keywords in the URLs itself, and it will have like a, maybe you have a best dash shoes dash for dash women or something like that. It'll have the keywords separated by dashes in the URL, and that can help with search engine ranking, because it just tells the search engine, hey, this is a very relevant page, this is, quality content kind of thing. Alright, and then the next thing is your content. You need to make sure that it's naturally written, that it has the keywords and it makes sense and it flows, and you're not just trying to stuff it with a bunch of keywords. The content needs to make sense and provide value to the users, and the search engines are smart enough to detect this in some cases, depending on, what it is. So like Google has a very advanced algorithm, for example. So it's not just looking at keywords, it's also looking at the content and different things. And I'll talk more about that a bit later. Images. So on the front end, you may have an image. Well, behind the scenes, behind that image is going to be text that may describe that image. You typically have what's called an alt text setting, where you can describe what the image is, and you can insert some keywords into that. You can also, when you upload that image, change the file name to something relevant that has a keyword, so that it's, just helping to describe that image, and it just helps to tell the search engines, hey, this image is relevant to this topic, and just helps it be able to index your content better. Okay, so ways that you can use the keywords effectively is you're going to want to include keywords into the headings, and you're going to want to at least have it in the page title and at least one subheading, and then you'll also want to include it within the first 100 words of the content. You don't want to stuff the keywords everywhere, because they will punish you for that, but what you can do is just try to naturally include it into the content, and I'll talk a bit more about how exactly that'll work a bit later. But it's very important that you keep the keywords, naturally in the content, so that it provides value and makes sense. So people are going to want to read it. Meta descriptions. So you'll want to include the keyword in the meta descriptions. The meta descriptions are shown in the search engine results, and it's hidden in the page code of the web page itself, and that's what the search engine uses when it displays the search engine results. The alt image text, as I described before, you can include relevant keywords wherever it's appropriate, and that can help the search engine be able to understand that image that is used on your webpage is relevant. Then if you have products, like for an online store or something like that, you can also include keywords within that, so that it's in the features, maybe the benefits, selling points, different things. You can include it in the title of the product and stuff like that. They can help. Now, you want to make sure that you're focusing on whatever the user's intent is. So whatever they're searching for, you need to make sure that the keywords fit with that. So for example, Nike or something, Nike shoes. if you just include those words and the content is not relevant, to that topic, it's not going to help. So the search engines know that you're trying to keyword stuff or something, or trying to target keywords that are irrelevant, and then it will punish you. Alright, so do keywords have to be an exact match? Short answer is no. While having an exact match with keywords can be helpful, the search engines have become smart enough that they understand synonyms, they understand contextual relevance. So even if the keywords don't match precisely what the user entered in, your website still has a chance of ranking for the keywords. You can use variations of related keywords and synonyms and stuff, and that can still help you rank in the results. And so if you use like different long tail keywords, that can, for example, if you have running shoes, you can have cheap running shoes, and that can make a difference when you're changing your keywords and stuff. So it looks at all these things. Now, Google's algorithm is focusing more on the intent behind the search rather than simply looking for keyword matches. So it's going to be looking at, oh, this person's looking for this, and try to present results that understand what they're trying to find, not necessarily what matches the keywords. And some important things to know is that capitalization does not matter. It doesn't care if the word is capitalized or not. And the keywords do not have to appear the exact same way every time. It's going to be looking at variations and synonyms and stuff like that. So thankfully it's quite intelligent. Otherwise it'd be a nightmare trying to target keywords exactly as they are shown. Okay, so keyword placement in titles. You want to make sure that your titles are pretty concise, because you only have so much room in the search engine results. It's like on average around 60 characters or so, and you don't want it to get cut off. So try to keep them concise but long enough that they contain enough keywords to describe what the web page is about. And you can set the titles for each page. So you want something that's going to show, be relevant to the page of the website, not just on, not just a default for all the pages of your website. You want something that's, specific to each page, so that people know what they're looking at when they see it in the search results. You also want to make sure that your keyword, the most important one, is near the beginning of the title. So that way it's going to be helpful more for SEO rather than, having it at the end. So you can also combine your keyword with some benefits, to be like an enticing title and stuff. So you can use compelling titles. So some examples: affordable SEO tools for small businesses, or fast and reliable web hosting for entrepreneurs. I mean, it makes it helpful for SEO, but also makes it more likely that people will click that. You want to avoid any kind of keyword stuffing, so you want to make sure it sounds natural, and don't overuse the keywords, as Google will punish you for anything that's unnatural sounding. Alright, power words: you can use words like best and affordable, essential, ultimate guide, and things like that. These things can help improve your actual click rates, like the chances of people actually clicking when they see your website listed in the search results, when it's paired with the keywords. Alright, so for keywords placed in content, you want to try to aim for about 1 to 2% of the content to have the keywords. And so your primary keyword needs to be, naturally in the text without being too much. You need to focus on writing for the user, not just for writing search engines. So you're not going to be trying to rank necessarily. You're going to try and provide value on that topic and using relevant keywords on that topic, and that will help you to be able to improve your search engine ranking. Now, internal ranking is where you take links like you insert links into your content to other parts of your other content, and that are relevant to that word. So you can use it as anchor text, and these things just kind of help to improve the SEO and authority across the site, keeps people on your website longer. So for example, if you have some sort of topic and then you add a link, learn more about such and such, and you have another part of your website that goes into detail about some other thing, you can link that, and that can be helpful. Then there is LSI keywords. LSI stands for latent semantic indexing. This is for keywords that are related phrases or synonyms, and these help the search engines understand what your content is about. You can use tools like Google's related searches or the keyword research tools to find other keywords that are relevant, and you can sprinkle those throughout your content. Now, it's important again to use the headings and subheadings so that you break the content into readable sections, and you use the keywords with those tags so that the search engine knows, oh, these are, prioritize those keywords in the heading. So we'll go, okay, this is an important heading and, section and stuff, and it'll be able to look through that and determine its relevance better that way. You want to make sure that you're writing for the user, so make sure that the content provides answers, solves problems, and uses the primary keyword in a way that's helpful and informative. So the focus is on providing value and helping people. If you do that, it will, be more natural. Okay, so SEO tools. There are a lot of SEO tools, specifically for WordPress. There are some great free ones. There are some paid versions as well of these free ones. But WordPress makes it pretty easy to install different ones and try them out and take advantage of different tools that can help you improve your search engine optimization, so your SEO. Alright, so 3 examples is Yoast SEO. It's one of the most popular ones. It helps you to optimize the titles and descriptions and content, and it gives you an SEO score. SEO Framework is another one. I like SEO Framework because it's pretty easy. It's lightweight. You don't have to have an advanced setup. It automatically creates like a sitemap and stuff. I'll go more into that a bit later. But it's pretty relatively easy to understand and use, and doesn't put a lot of weight on your website. So that's one of the reasons I like it over Yoast. Rank Math is another one. It has AI tools, it has other things, it has some automation and manual controls, it has keyword ranking and other fancy things. Some of the features, it has for free, others are paid. So, I mean, it's just another option. It's a popular plugin that you may want to consider. Now, if you're not using WordPress, or you just are looking for some other options, there are a lot to choose from. There is Moz Pro, and it has SEO tools for keyword tracking and, rank analysis, so you can see how you're ranking in the search engine for different keywords, and you can see how your site authority and different things like that. You can see competitor insights, and then you can use tools like Ahrefs, which is great for keyword research, figuring out where your backlinks are, tracking keyword performance. You can also use SEMrush. They have SEO audit tools and keyword research and content optimization features and stuff. And there's also Ubersuggest. They have free and low-cost tools that help with keyword research, competitive analysis, SEO auditing, and that kind of thing. With a lot of these tools, some of them may have built-in features, some of them may be plugins or extensions, some of them have more automated things, others are more manual. It just varies by the platform. There's a lot of different options. Shopify has some options as well as Squarespace, and these can help to create the descriptions and keyword integration that I've been telling you about in the, previously. Some of the neat tools that come with these are like automatic XML sitemap. So what a sitemap is kind of like a blueprint or like a plan, an outline of what your website is. It says, oh, okay, the website consists of these pages, and these, pages lead to these other pages, and these lead to other pages. And it just helps them, navigate the search engines to be able to navigate your website, to be able to know what pages are connected, where to find them, and that kind of thing. It will crawl and index your website much more easily with a sitemap. And so it is used by the search engines. You can submit the sitemap, and some of these tools will automatically create it for you. So, for example, SEO Framework will automatically create the sitemap. You don't have to do anything to create it. It just does it automatically when you install it. And then you can take the URL for that sitemap and submit it to like the Google Search Console, and then it will start indexing your website if it hasn't done so already. And so these tools can be really helpful and help automate a lot of technical stuff so that you don't have to deal with that part, and it will handle a lot of that heavy lifting for you. Then there's schema markup integration. So for example, if you have like products in an online store or recipes or events or something, there's some platforms and some tools that you can use. They'll have certain tags and stuff that'll give like the price and the product title and product reviews, and it'll help the search engines know what the content is and stuff like that, and be able to use that as it uses a search and stuff. So a lot of tools will handle all that automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. It just kind of, depends on what features and stuff are available on the platforms and tools that you use. Then there's on-page SEO analysis and suggestions. So a lot of them will have some kind of analysis that it can tell you, what you need to improve on, rate, your titles and rate your descriptions, and tell you what things are lacking, what you can try to work on. Alright, and then it can also, give you some readability scores. It might give you some suggestions for how to optimize it and improve it. And, it might suggest your keyword needs to be added, to the beginning of the article, or improve your sentence length, or, make a title longer. Different things that these tools can do. Automation can really be a powerful way to save time and, improve the effectiveness of your SEO strategies. So these plugins and tools and stuff can help, take care of a lot of things automatically, so you don't have to worry about it, and just kind of can simplify things. There are also some other tools like Zapier that you can connect it to maybe perhaps have automatic content posted, or do some sort of keyword tracking, or different things like that. There's also other SEO tools like Surfer SEO, which has content optimization suggestions and stuff, and it uses, competitor analysis and stuff to help you make assessments in what you should be doing. So some other things to keep in mind is that you want to try to regularly look at the suggestions and keep track of these things so that you can improve and make sure that your website is going to be optimized to be ranked adequately in the search engines. Alright, so a bit more on automating it. The SEO titles and meta descriptions, so a lot of plugins and tools will allow you to automatically set these things, and they may have some sort of template, it may have, some formula that it uses. So some may have defaults, some may generate it automatically for you. All these things vary, but these tools can help you save time and give you some control over, what your title reads in the search engines and stuff. Then you can insert, the keywords into it and stuff like that. Keyword suggestions. So Rank Math is particularly good with this. It's got some AI powered tools to give you some keyword suggestions, and it can help offer other keywords based on what you're targeting. It can do a lot of different things, help you follow best practices. It can tell you what optimization things are needed, what you're missing, where to put tags for your images and stuff, like the alt tags and stuff. There's also automatic redirection, so if you move a page or you change the URL for something and a page is missing, there are these tools that can help redirect that traffic so it's not lost, so they get taken to a different page of your website. Okay, off-page optimization. This is where you have backlinks. These are like where other websites are linking to yours. So that could be social media websites, it could be directories, it could be any variety of other things. And these can provide some authority and help your website get ranked higher, because if you have high quality backlinks, like from trustworthy websites, it can help yours look better. Then you have guest blogging. This is where you can write articles and have a link to your website, and you post these on other platforms. It might be on someone else's blog, it might be on a newspaper website or something, or somewhere where you're allowed to post something, and you can have a link to your website, and that can provide a backlink to your site that helps increase the ranking and authority and stuff, helps your website appear more trustworthy in the search engine's eyes. Then you have social signals, like having social media that drives people to your website and different things like that. You have testimonials and things. These things can help have more links and things that drive people there, and just helps your website be seen better in the eyes of the search engines. Then you have brand mentions, so anybody that happens to mention your business or brand in their content or in their social media or things like that, that may help. Having your business listed in local directories. You definitely want to list it in the Google My Business system, so that you have a Google My Business listing. You absolutely need that if you are a local business and want to get seen. So definitely do that. But there's other directories as well. So you may have like industry specific ones. So there's directories for doctors, there's directories for veterinarians, there's for lawyers and different professionals and different industries and different things. So you can list your business in those, and that can help increase your visibility in the search engines and get more backlinks. Alright, so now, while there's lots of great things that SEO can do, there are some things that you need to be aware of to not do, unless you want to be, punished for it. So Google and the other search engines will punish you if you overload a page with keywords. So the search engines, when they first started, would target particular keywords. Well, people caught on and started stuffing keywords into their pages, and they would just list a whole bunch of keywords. So I'm sure you've seen some social media posts in some cases, for example, on Twitter and stuff, or X, as it's now called, where someone will include a bunch of hashtags, or just, like hashtags or keywords that are irrelevant to the content that they've posted, but they'll include those things anyway, so that way it comes up. Well, the search engines are smarter than that to know that if a page is just a bunch of list of keywords that don't provide any real value or content, they're going to punish you for that. They will also punish you if you simply copy content from another website and put it on your own. So, for example, even if you have a free article, say you can sometimes buy articles or publish articles because they'll be like open source or something like that, and and you're trying to put content on your website, don't do that, because you're just directly copying content that has been published in other places, and Google will punish you for that because it'll be like, ooh, there's duplicate content. This website is bad. And so you don't want to do that. You want something that's going to be unique and original and provide value. And that's what's going to help you stand out and avoid being punished. And so that's something that you absolutely have to avoid. And with AI and stuff, you have a lot more tools and things like that that you can generate content very rapidly. There's no need to duplicate content. And then buying links. You definitely do not want to purchase backlinks. So if you get contacted by some company that says, hey, we'll sell you these backlinks, don't do that. Because those are intentionally trying to manipulate the rankings, and they're usually low quality, and they're just trying to get your money. So it's a waste of money. Don't do it. That's about all you need to say about that. So then you have cloaking. That's where you have keywords that are on a page, but the content on that page are not relevant or useful, to those keywords and stuff. So it's irrelevant. Google and the other search engines may punish you for that and not rank those, not let you rank in the results, because they'll see it as low quality content if it is relevant at all, or just trying to mislead people. And then the last thing is slow website speed. So if your website takes a long time to load, that can hurt you in the search engine rankings. So it's going to be prioritizing websites that are fast, mobile friendly. It's going to be looking at, relevance. If it has content that, fits with the user's purpose of looking up the information and things like that, that's what it's going to prioritize, and things that have a lot of backlinks and high authority. And so it considers all of those things. Okay, so tracking performance, you want to try to track your SEO performance using tools such as the Google Search Console. Google Search Console is free. You can use it to see how your website is indexed in Google's search engine, and it will help you know what issues there are and help you to troubleshoot those things, and help you to get it indexed faster. So you can submit your sitemap and it will start looking through that and start trying to index the pages over time. It may take some time for it to do that, but the Google Search Console is something you absolutely should use as a free tool, especially. All right, Google Analytics. If you decide to use Google Analytics, be aware that, although I don't have this listed in here, the statistics of any of the analytics tools, you can, kind of take with a grain of salt in some cases, because the numbers are just not going to be necessarily accurate. So even if it says you had 10 visitors today, that doesn't mean you actually had 10 visitors today. It could be more, it could be less. The analytics tools can only do so much to try to track who's visiting your website. Even the real-time traffic, you may have somebody, on your website that it doesn't reflect, or it might be, showing traffic that just isn't actually there. It might be bots, or it could be something else. So there's all kinds of different things that these analytics tools may appear to show, but which may not necessarily be accurate. So it's something you have to keep in mind, not just with Google Analytics, but with any analytics tools, because it's just not always possible to track every single user for various reasons. It's a lot of technical reasons, I won't get into it, but just know that it's not necessarily always reliable. Okay, it's just there to give you an idea, okay, of how many people are visiting a website. Don't think of it as an exact value. It's going to tell you how many people have visited your website in an estimate, and then it's going to kind of tell you what those users did, and if they converted, and if they did what you wanted them to do. It's going to tell you some demographics, and it can give you some real-time traffic info and statistics of who may be on your website potentially, and it can also help you track your goals as well. But be in mind, keep in mind, if you do use Google Analytics, they collect a lot of information, and some aspects of the data they collect, they probably do monetize. They do keep some things private, but they do anonymize some information or different things like that. And, when something is free, you are the product. That's just how the saying goes, and that's, going to be generally true, especially with something as giant as Google. All right, so SEMrush, they have SEO suite of keyword research and stuff like that. Competitor analysis tools, backlink tools, and different things like that. You can track your performance and do site audits and see how well you're doing. You can see what SEO issues need to fix, all with their tools. Ahrefs is, very similar. It gives you more in-depth analysis and keyword tools and stuff. These tools are very advanced, and but they give you a lot of information that, if you know what to do with it, can give you a lot of control over what your website does and how, be able to improve it over time to increase your search engine ranking. Key Search is an affordable SEO tool for keyword research and competitor analysis and stuff. You can do a lot of things with it. It's lower cost than some of the other options. It gives you keyword difficulty. It tells you search engine volume. It can tell you, keywords that you're missing, keywords that your competitors are using. It has a lot of great tools, so I highly recommend that one if you choose to go with a paid tool. With whatever you decide to use, set some clear goals. So define what your keywords are going to be, and then try to figure out what your conversion and traffic goals are going to be over time, and especially as you increase your search engine ranking, over time with these different strategies. You'll want to try and monitor your progress. Try to do so weekly and stay on top of trends and be aware of what it's doing, and what keywords people may be doing at that time of the year, and different things, because these things do change with the seasons. And so it may not necessarily be consistent. They may do, a lot more searches at a certain time of year compared to other times of year. So it's something to keep in mind. And whatever, your tracking and information does, you'll want to try to refine your strategies and tactics that you use. And using your keyword performance and traffic data and those kinds of things, be able to adjust what you're doing to try to do it better. All right, some key metrics that you're going to want to track are keyword ranking. So how well your pages are ranking for certain, for specific keywords. So if you're using Google Search Console, for example, or Ahrefs or SEMrush, if you monitor how well the specific keywords you have are doing regularly, and then you can optimize your website and stuff, this can help you just perform better for those keywords or target other ones you may not have found before that may be related. You can use organic traffic stats to figure out where you're getting free traffic from, and what's driving them to your website, and how you can try and attract more. Your click-through rate, that's a CTR. You'll notice that on a lot of tools. You can monitor that through like the search engine console. Bing and Google have a search console, and you can see how well your website is doing in the search engine results. And so if you have a higher CTR, then you're getting more people to click on the links when your website is in the search engine results. Okay, bounce rate, that's another thing you need to keep track of. It's going to show you the percentage of visitors that are leaving your website after they view only one page. So if they visit your website, they only look at one thing, and then they leave, that is considered a bounce. And it can mean that the page content isn't relevant. Maybe they just completed whatever they're looking for and they don't need anything else. It could be due to the website loading too slowly. There are different reasons for it. But it can, alert you to something that you might need to change. Conversion rate, this is where you're measuring how many people that visit your website actually do the thing that you want them to do. So that might be buying something. It might be signing up for a newsletter. It could be filling out a form. It could be just clicking a button, whatever it is that you want them to do. The conversion rate is, the percentage of the people that visit your website do that thing. And this metric, is going to help you to understand what's converting, what's not, who's turning, into your leads and what they're doing, before that. So, you can use all this data and information to try and figure out a strategy that works good and improves your conversion rate. Okay, so some SEO tips for success. You want to stay consistent, so you want to try to post new content on your website kind of regularly, so that way it keeps your website relevant, and you want to make sure that you're providing value to your audience and provide things that'll bring them back. And you can also update older content. So if you have an older website or you just have some older content, you can refresh that with some other things, and that can help to keep it relevant and prevent it from, getting outdated. You can also optimize your website. You absolutely must do this for mobile, so make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Most are these days, but you want to do a test to make sure, because the majority of website traffic is well over 50%, and it's from mobile devices. So most of the people that visit your website are probably going to be viewing it on a mobile device, but in some cases it's going to depend on your target market too. So in any case, with any kind of SEO, be patient. It's going to take time for SEO to pay off. SEO is free traffic, so you're not paying for those people to visit your website, so you're naturally trying to attract them. So it's kind of like hunting, where you have to wait, and or fishing, and you're trying to put your line out and have bait, and you're trying to lure people to it. So it's going to take time and patience. You want to use SEO in your videos and try to use platforms like YouTube, which can help boost your visibility and create some brand awareness and potentially get some traffic that can help speed up people coming to your website and clicking on your links and things like that. You can also use guest posting, which will help build backlinks to your website and potentially bring some more people to your website that came across your content on another platform or website. Okay, and so that is the end of that, but I'm not going to end it here. I'm going to give some demonstrations, so just a moment while I do that. So let me pull this up here. Okay, so here is the Google Keyword Planner, and with this tool, it is free through the Google Ad platform. You can see it says Google Ads. This is designed to be a useful tool for coming up with ads to use in the Google search results. So to get to it, it's just ads.google.com. And so you sign up, and then you can access the keyword planner, and then you can enter in the keywords that you are, that are relevant to your business, and then you can start identifying which ones have, search volume and low competition and have low and high range bid. So if you look at the results for digital marketing, you can see that it has a high search volume of 100,000 people to 1 million. That's how many are doing it on average per month. It's a broad keyword term, and you can see that the competition for that keyword is medium. And that means it's going to be very competitive and difficult to rank high enough in the search engine results for that key term, keyword term. So you can see the low bid is $3.90, and then the high bid is $11.90. And it tells you these are what the values are paid. The cost, average cost per click. Okay, that's what CPC means. So that's how many, how much people are paying for each person that clicks on their link in the search engine results. Okay, so you have like marketing agency for small business, and it's going to tell you the average monthly searches. It's going to kind of give you an idea of it. This is just a very broad estimate and does not, go into a lot of detail, but it's showing the year-over-year change, how much has changed. See, compares monthly search volume of the latest month with the same month of the last year. So you can see that this has increased dramatically from a year ago. And you can see the competition is relatively low. However, the low bid range is $5.48 that people are paying per time each person clicks. That person may buy, that person may not buy when they click that link, but that's what they're paying for that. So it's a valuable search term, but very competitive, even though the competition is low. So the Google Keyword Planner is useful for trying to identify low competition keywords, but it's still competitive. So the best strategy for using this type of tool is to take this, take the term that you're wanting to do, and then you can actually do a search in Google for that term and then see what comes up. So now you can see, so this one's at the very top, and if you scroll down, we're just going to say block, you can see the different results that come up. It's also doing, local results as well, so you'll want to be in the Google, My Business listings, and you can, see the different results for it. Now, be aware that your results may vary from someone else's, and it will vary from the location and other things like that. So you can use the private window as well, and that can give you some different results. And so if you do that and you compare it, you can see that it looks a little bit different. And now see, it's saying people also ask, and it has some common questions. So these questions might be something that you can include on your website. And if you expand it, and you can see this is what this company is ranking for this question. And you can see different information for these things, and it shows up differently based on different user metrics and different things like that. So this is a strategy that you can use, is using different devices, using different browsers, using, a private browser, whatever it is that you want to, target, to try and get a better idea of what it's going to show to people on average, rather than just searching directly while you're logged in, because it's going to tailor the results differently a little bit. It may not vary it too much, but it can make a difference. Alright, so back to the keyword planner, and you can see that it's still low competition, but people are paying quite a bit to rank near the top, or to appear on the first few page. They may not be actively paying it. It just kind of depends, and usually they'll say something is sponsored somewhere. I'm not seeing it on this particular one, but may find it on something else. If we look up digital marketing, then we can see different results that come up, and different things that show in the results. And we can also see that there's videos as well. And so different things can change for the different results. So some may have video, some may not. It's all going to vary. So when you're identifying keywords, search for those keywords in the search engines and see what comes up. And those things can change day to day, of course, as things change, as new content is added, as other people are competing for those keywords. So you'll want to try and, keep adding content that's relevant and valuable to your target audience, so that way the search engines will go, oh, hey, that's a relevant thing I need to show people. Okay, so that's that tool. There are many other tools. This one is not going to let me show you anything, but it's something that you can sign up for. It's just one of the other ones I have, KW Finder. This is just one of them, and you can do a search, and it will make you sign up. all of them will want you to sign up, unfortunately. But you can see a different cost and what features they include and different things like that from their website and from their plans and stuff. And they'll usually have some kind of trial or some type of thing that they'll let you do with a limit, for experimenting with their system and platform. And this one is the key search keyword tool. You can use it for keyword research, and I typically recommend them because they're lower cost and they still have a lot of great features, and it's relatively easy to use. So you can see that it's showing you kind of what it does, and you can click on things to see what the trends are, what's ranking, what works, and stuff. It's really cool tool. I like this one. Much lower cost. It's like $24 a month, I think. And yeah, it's a worthwhile tool to use. And the other ones are kind of more aimed for agencies that are doing a lot of keyword research, and whereas Key Search is more of a better one that is more for individual businesses and stuff. That you can use, but you can also do for multiple businesses as well. But it's just, yeah, and their pricing, you can see that it says 200 keyword searches per day and stuff like that. So you still get a lot of keyword searches and stuff. So if you were running a small agency, you could do that, but it's good for just in general. So I think it's an affordable option for small businesses, and definitely something, to consider. To identify good keywords and be able to see more statistics and information to know what you're trying to target. Alright, so that's kind of some of the tools and generally how they work. Keyword Planner is, like I said, free, and you can start using it right now, and it's not going to cost you anything. You can experiment with it, and it can give you a good idea of what types of keywords to look for. But the advantage that some of these other tools are going to give you is you can analyze what your competitors are doing. You can find related keywords. You can find questions that people typically ask that are related to the keyword. So it's really helpful in that sense. But I mean, it's optional. It's going to depend on what your strategy and your budget and your needs are, and what your long-term goals are. If you're really trying to get a lot of organic traffic for free, which can help reduce your marketing costs if you're getting free traffic, versus having to pay for everything and stuff. So, it's just going to depend on what you're trying to do. But that's just kind of how they kind of work a little bit. And then, oh yes, the other thing I need to show you is with the actual posts. So, as I was saying, with like the H1, H2, those types of things. That has to do with the headings. So you can see that this is a heading. This is the page title of the post. And then you can see this is a section, and you can see there's an H2 there. And if I click on this, it says H3. So these are different headings levels. The bigger it is, the smaller number. So H1 is the biggest, which is the page title. Then you have, the subheadings. So this one is an important one, but, this one below here is less important. It's, underneath it. Then you have the main content, and you have different, keywords in that content. Okay, and then you can see, let's see, the image too. The alt tag image, like the alt text for the image, is shown on the side. I know it's really hard in this to see, but you can see that I have different images and stuff, and you can see the alt text in there that kind of describes it, and you can insert keywords that are relevant to that image inside there relatively easily. There's no, you don't have to worry about coding to try to do that. The tools allow you to do it pretty easily. It's just knowing to do that and knowing what those things mean and what the purpose is, and knowing what keywords to use in your content. And then when you actually view the content, let's see. Okay, there it goes. you can see that the headings and stuff are shown, but there's no, you don't see meta tag or anything like that. It's just handled on the back end. And you can use tools, like I said, like SEO search, which I will show you briefly here. And with SEO search, it has a bunch of different options, and it can set, like homepage options. You can set the meta title, and you can set the description, and it kind of gives you, a green bar saying, whether the length is good, whether you need to work on it, and stuff like that. SEO framework is probably less advanced than some of the other tools like Yoast SEO or Rank Math, but those things can tend to require more advanced setup to really take advantage of the tools. It can also slow your website down a little bit, depending on a number of things. They tend to have more features, so they're more bloated. SEO framework is very lightweight and pretty well automatic in what it does, and has, different options in here that you can experiment with. But generally speaking, it's pretty well automated. You don't have to do too much with it. It will create like a sitemap. Let me see, where is that sitemap? Try and find that real quick. Sitemap, here it is. Okay, so you can see your sitemap settings, and it will automatically generate it. You can view base sitemap. And this is what the sitemap actually looks like. And you can see this is the website address, for it. It says sitemap.xml. This is what the search engines are looking for when they look for a sitemap, and it tells them what pages, are in, part of the website. And it will also give the date and everything like that. So this thing is, meant to be processed quickly by Google and Bing. So it's a optimized XML sitemap that the plugin generated automatically for me just by installing it. So it's a really powerful tool, and I can take this and I can go into the Google Search Console. Speaking of which, let's see. That I should be able to go to it. Itchy. Okay. And then you can see sitemap. The website is relatively new, and I submitted it on the 2nd of August. And you can see that the sitemap.xml address that I showed you is on there, and you can see status and discovered pages are on there. And so this is the Google Search Console. It's a free tool as well that you can use to kind of get an idea of how your pages are being indexed and what's working, what's not, what you need to work on. And so it's a really powerful tool. It's free, and it's got a lot of features and stuff, but if you just do the sitemap and stuff, that's the main thing with it. But it can also give you an idea of how your website is ranking in the search engines and stuff, and what you can improve. So I think that concludes what I'm going to cover in this video. If you have questions, just let me know, and you can check out the blog posts that I've got on the website, which go into more information and detail about platforms and tools and strategies. I've even got psychology on there and everything like that. Go in there and I'll show you real quick to go into the blog. So I've added these articles today, and so you can check those out, and that will provide you a lot of information, and even the headline and title formulas that you can use, the how-tos, lists, questions, and stuff. These things can help you to create not just good titles, but stuff that'll help convert. So that's the purpose of what this post is really about. And yeah, I've got the platforms and tools that you can use. So Google Search Console, SEO framework, and everything that I've talked about is listed here. So you can check that out, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.